So I've got another folding drone. I've done quite a few of these, but the reason I picked out this one was it's got a 2 megapixel camera, so it's 720p, and it's tiltable as well. So I'm hoping this is going to be pretty good. I like the Visuo range. I've done a full review on an identical one to this, but just it was an older model. So let's just see how we get on with this one. This one comes in a nice little box. As you can see, it's all very stylized, black and gold. If you're old enough to remember John Player special racing cars, Formula One, so this is very in those colours. It isn't going to be that performance, that's for sure. You've got 5 different flavours here, and I've got the HWG as well there. So it comes with proprietary battery. It's a 1800 milliamp hour, and it's a high voltage one. It's a 3.85 one, and you get a charger with it as well, which is USB to micro USB. Now it does take best part of 3 hours to charge, to be honest. Certainly over 2 hours to charge. I've been having a play around with it. It comes with a sticker that stops it from actually plugging in and firing up the Visuo, even though there is an on-off switch. It comes with a safety sticker on it as well, so you just peel that off, otherwise you can't get the battery in, to be honest. And like I say, just any USB charging port, so your car, your laptop, your mains adapter sort of thing. I tried it on a fast charger and it didn't really make an awful lot of difference actually, so obviously that's just the way it charges. The nice thing is, because this range has been out quite a while, there's loads of batteries around. I'll put any links I can find to deals on them down in the description for you. It simply pops in the back, and you slide it in there, and it's got a good clip in, it won't pop out, and to get it out you simply press down and then pull it back out. While we've got it upside down, this one model actually takes a micro SD card, and I've tried it with a quick test indoors on the 32 gigabyte, and it works fine. So and I'll show you how we get the video to work and everything in a minute. We'll stay on the quad for a minute or so. You've got you fold the front ones out first of all, and then the back ones, and as you can hear, they click in position, but they're not actually locked in position, so they can get knocked back out the way, which has got benefits because it shouldn't really damage anything. The props are really flexible, and so you'd be pretty difficult to damage anything on this, to be honest. I've had a few crashes with the other one, and it seems to bounce pretty well. It's not a heavy quad either. If you're new to flying or you want to fly indoors, you also get 4 prop guards with it. You simply pop this one out of here, and then you just slide them in there. They just clip in position, and that makes it into quite a beast of a thing. It actually becomes quite big. I'm only going to fly outdoors, so I'm not going to use the prop guards. You get a spare set of props with it as well, and you get a little Phillips screwdriver. If you need to change your prop, you simply pop off this prop cap here, and there's a little screw in there. Unscrew that and just swap the props over. They are handed, so make sure that you get the correct ones. They're not marked in any way that I could see, but you'll soon see once you've got that one off. Make sure you match it up with the one you need to replace it with. On to the other stuff you get a good set of instructions, and also there was something on here about if you have an accident, it tells you to take the battery out. I did give this a test indoors. I just sort of banged it hard and gave the illusion that it's had a crash, and it won't fire up unless you do remove the battery and put it back in, which I suppose is just a safety thing. So always bear that in mind. If you've had an accident or it's come to an abrupt stop, then you do need to take the battery out, but it works straight away afterwards. I tried it 3 or 4 times indoors. The instruction manual is really good, runs through everything on it, does a little bit with the app as well, and you can fly this one either using the transmitter or you can fly it on an app. And basically they've copied the Wi-Fi UFO app and just put their own little logo on at the front. That's about all the differences. But like I say, it runs through everything, but I'll run through everything in the review, I hope. But it is clearly marked up. If you're new to flying, that's absolutely great. The transmitter is a gaming style one, as you can see, and you need 3 AA batteries with it, and it doesn't come with them, so make sure that you've got them, otherwise you won't be flying. And it's got a nice little thing on the top there to show you how to bind it to it, the emergency stop button, and then how to calibrate. Again, I'll run through all this when we get up into flight. The transmitter is really nice. I mean, these are a typical gaming style one, and it's nicely marked up as well. We've got 3 speeds on it, and they're cyclical, so it starts in low rates all the time. Into second rates you get 2 beeps, into third rates 3 beeps. Press it again, it comes around to first rates. You press this one if you want to do a flip, so just press it and then choose a direction: forward, flip, backwards, right or left. And the Visios do really quick flips, so they're quite nice if that's your sort of thing. Because it's an altitude hold, we can't actually do manual flips with it. But this is really aimed at beginners, I would say, or somebody who just wants to carry a little folding drone with them, so you're probably not going to be too bothered about that. The controls themselves, if you're brand new to flying, this is your throttle, so you push it up and it will ascend, and as soon as you let go and let it center stick, then it will hold that altitude. It won't hold a position, it's got no positioning on it, so only slight breeze it will drift away. That happens with any quads. If you want to descend, you pull it down, and as soon as you let go it will stop descending. If you've got heavy winds coming through, these work on barometers, so they can sort of wind up pulsing just a wee bit. But to be honest, they're usually pretty good. But we'll see how we get on when we're flying it. Pushes to the right, and that yaws to the right, or turns to the right. It's called yawing. Pushes to the left, yaws to the left. And all these things, you're not at points of the compass. You can have a little bit of yawing and a little bit of ascend, or any other the stick inputs. That's the fun bit about flying. When you first start it, you feel like you're patting your head and rubbing your belly and skipping on one leg when you first start, and then when you get the hang of it, you wonder what all the fuss was about. This is your direction stick, so push that forward, the quad will go forward, and this is for the cameras at the front of the quad, so push it, it goes forward, backwards, and then that's called pitching, and then you roll to the right and roll to the left. Now that's in the orientation of the quad, so it's facing towards me and I push forwards, forwards is towards me. There is also a headless version on this, a headless mode, and we simply press this button here. So if we're bound up all in this way, if I press forward, obviously forwards for the front of the quad, but in headless mode, no matter what angle the quad's at, if I press forward, forward is always away, back towards me, right and left. And then if you go at diagonals, obviously it will go at diagonals. Like I say, there's not points of the compass. This is your trim. You can adjust the trim, but to be honest, on this level, I've always found if you calibrate them on somewhere level, they're usually invariably pretty good. And I'll show you the calibration when we get going. You've got an auto takeoff, auto landing. You simply press that, it will prime the motors and it will pop up to about 1 meter. Press this and it will come into land as well. You've got an emergency stop button, hold that down for a second or so and it kills the motors at whatever height it's at, so it'll literally plummet from the sky. These two buttons do nothing on this particular model, and this one's a return to home, which invariably aren't really that good on this sort of level of quad, because it doesn't actually know where home is, and I'll do a quick test with that, hopefully. Okay, I must apologise, I just noticed that there's B's and A's marked on the arms. I did notice them earlier, and I looked at the props and couldn't see it, but actually tucked in there is an A and a B, so you do get told which orientation to put the props in. To be honest, it's not rocket science, you just make sure you replace the same prop with the same prop, really, so no difficulty there at all. So the first thing you do with this model is you turn on the actual quad itself and leave that upside down so you can see the LEDs. They're nice and bright as well, and you've got green at the front and red at the back. And then we turn on the transmitter, they go into fast pulse, and then we go up and down on the throttle, and as you can see we've now gone to solid. This will have set up a Wi-Fi hotspot, and what we're going to do is log on to that hotspot. So you go into your Wi-Fi settings on your phone, and I've already had a play around with this indoors, so it's probably already picked it up, and it has. If not, you'll need to go onto Wi-Fi 720p and then there'll be some numbers behind it. Come back to your home screen, and then you need to download XSW UFO, but actually Wi-Fi UFO also works on this, no problem at all. I did give it a check inside. It's exactly the same app, so it should work exactly the same. Go into the play, and there we are. Oh, we're upside down. So nice and quick. Oh, it's not a bad image, actually. Yeah, there's going to be some delay and everything. It's a little, it's a budget-priced quad. But what this is really geared for is for lining up a shot, and we'll have a play with that. We'll do some stills and everything. You can either fly it on here, which I'll do after I've flown it on the transmitter. Like I say, you can fly this without the phone, but I'm going to fly it with the phone. You just simply pull up the arm there, and then you can just pop your phone in, and we're all ready to go. So I'm going to start the video before we do anything. Going to press this on here. You get no counter up, but basically it's got the micro SD card in, so it's going to record to there. If you don't have the micro SD card in, you get a count up here, and I'll show you that a bit later on. And I don't expect you'll be able to see there's a very dull little blue light in there that just pulses really fast when it's actually recording. Because we've set it down somewhere level, I'm going to calibrate it, and then hopefully you'll be able to see. Let's see if we can get it somewhere where we can see some LEDs. There we go. Yep, so we can see those there. So to calibrate, just pull these down and out. Make sure you don't move it while you're calibrating it, and make sure it's on somewhere level, and then that's calibrated the gyro, and we're ready for off. Oh, well, that colour's changed on there quite a bit. That's just the white balance. It will probably balance itself. There we go. Yeah, it just depends what it picks up. There we go. Now it's working perfectly. So let's do auto takeoff. and it's up and away. There's no arguing about, and that's a little breeze that's taken that way. This is in low rate. Oh, it's actually quite nice. And we've got a really dull, miserable day, so that's not great for video at this level of this camera, certainly. But it's probably going to be fine. And the performance is quite nice. Like I say, altitude hold, so just let go. As you can see, the breeze is just going to take that back across. But that's holding that in position really well, holding it in altitude really well. The yaw, you turn it around slowly. Yeah, that's good. On some of these quads, when you give it a little bit of stick input, nothing happens. And then when you give it full stick, it just suddenly spins around. This one I can do really slowly. Yeah, wow, that's really nice. Like I say, the breeze is hardly anything in the garden today. There we go. So we can go a bit faster. That's low rates. You can see it pitches in a bit more into intermediate. Yeah, that's pretty good. And this is going into high rates. There we go. Oh, and the pitch really changed there. Nice. Let's do a quick flip for people who like flips. So simply press the button. There we go. It's not a bad flip. It doesn't really float my boat, I must admit. With a tiltable camera, of course, we'll pop that down in a second. And as you might have noticed already, we get a little bit of lag with the actual Wi-Fi. I would expect that anyway. Let's just do a quick selfie. There we go. And the phone just made the little camera noise there. Yeah, it's actually a nice little flyer. The Visios tend to be, actually. I say it's just going to drift away from me there. So range, let's have a quick go with range. Oh, I tell you what we do first of all. I do the headless mode, so I usually forget that, to be perfectly honest. I think we were bound up that way, weren't we? Yeah, that's right. So you've got flashing LEDs, as you can see there, and I'm pressing forwards is away from me, back towards me. The thing is, you can rotate and spin. I don't get headless mode. It's not something I ever use. I just demonstrate it, that's all. And I've noticed it twitches back up rather quickly on the stick control on the pitch and roll, but you can, if you do it gently, you can do it gently as well. But if you let go, it just seems to snap back quite quick. There we go. That's not uncommon either, so I'm just trying to point these things out. But it's quite a nice flying machine to learn with, because you can actually do the gentle controls if you like. I know my garden really well, and I know that if I go down there, I'm going to get about 80 meters. Oh, the Wi-Fi is still holding. That's well over 50 there. Yeah, it's doing all right. Well, that's just on 80 meters there. Whoa. Yeah, that's very good. Hey, that handled 80 meters, and the Wi-Fi was holding up as well. Yeah, very nice. Hey, nice little flyer actually. And lovely, and just holds everything. The Visios are really good. So this emergency stop, I just show you that, so I'm just going to hold that for a couple of seconds, boom, and everything goes off. Now, that might actually need the battery resetting. I hadn't thought of that before. Let me just quickly check that. Because certainly if you force it to stop, that's what happens. I'm going to stop the video just for a second. Oh no, it's okay. So when you do it that way, you're fine. If you have a crash, you have to take the battery out. Now, if you prime the motors like I did there, both sticks down and in, I haven't touched anything there, and then after about 5 seconds, it kills them anyway. Another thing with this is if I turn off the transmitter, it will kill the motors as well, and that takes about 2 or 3 seconds. There we go. And then we've got flashing LEDs come on because we're not bound to anything. I'll just bind back up to that so that we get the flashing LEDs again, up and down, and then we're ready to go. And I'll just show you this return to home. So we're going to take off normally this time, so prime the motors, then up and away. So we know home. Oh, actually, if I put it over home and then I'll show you what happens. Return to home, it's going off in that direction. I don't know why it was going in that direction. I have no idea at all. So that's what I mean about the return to home. The return to home should be where the table is. Let's just see how we get on. And it's going back towards my house again. And no matter where I put it, it's not going anywhere near home. And this is what I think is the problem. I don't think they want to put these on these sort of things. There we go. It's just going off down there. quite happily. Okay, and we're obviously gone back into low rates. That's better. Yeah, so yeah, return to home is just going over there. Nowhere near where we actually started from. And landing, you can either land it by pressing the land button, and that'll just bring it into land, and then you can control where you want to go. Alternatively, just pull the throttle off and that will do it as well. Ah, there we go. Now that's quite good. I've done it on grass. It hasn't managed to pump itself up and spin freely, so it's stopped it, and it's literally killed the whole quad. I don't know if I like this idea or not. I'm just all I do is review them. So as you can see, even though we're all plugged in and turned on, the actual quad has gone completely dead. So we need to pop the battery out and pop it back in. Now we get the flashing LEDs. We need to turn off the transmitter and then turn it back on. And this will be interesting whether or not the app comes back to life automatically. Yep, it does. That's pretty good. This table seems to really muck up its white balance for a second, and then if you put it back on there, it goes perfect. So yeah, so that's quite interesting. That all worked pretty good. I think that's the transmitter all covered, range we've covered and everything. I'm going to actually give it a go with the app itself. So if I pop that over, we can see the LEDs are solid. I'm going to turn off the transmitter. So 2 or 3 seconds, there we go. So what would happen if you lost signal or you turned this off when you were in mid-flight? It would just come down slowly to land. It wouldn't just kill the motors, it would come in gently. And I'll actually point the camera angle down just a wee bit this time. Well, actually we point it fully down. Nice thing about this camera, it does actually point fully down. A lot of them don't. And then as you can see, we've got flashing LEDs. Though this is working on here, what we need to do is turn the controls on. I've done a video of how to fly using this app, and I'll put a link down in description for you. So there we go, the LEDs are now gone solid, so we're actually ready for takeoff. I'm going to start the video, and as you can see, you get a count up here, which we didn't get when it was recording on the micro SD card. And you need to put the altitude hold on because it's an altitude hold model, and then up and away. There we go. Actually flies really nicely. With this app, you can fly it on your gyro or your phone, so just simply press that and then it will go with the phone. So if I go right, left, forward, back, you can do diagonals and everything. Let me just put up the rates. You've got 3 different rates as well. That's second rates, and that's third rates. And what I do with the grandkids, if you're familiar with the channel, I get them to turn with the way the quad is facing for them to learn how to fly, and it actually works really well. We've still got control of, throttle, and obviously altitude hold is holding well, but you've got this tilting effect you can do with the actual phone. Actually, I've sort of got used to it now. It's actually quite good fun. Whee! It's really a smart little quad. Okay, we're going to take that off. You've also got headless mode under here. You just simply put that into headless. Oh, I don't know which way was headless. So, there we are. So that's forward, backwards, right and left. Like I say, not really my idea of fun. That's better. Nearly lost it there. Like I say, I really don't enjoy headless mode. So, app is working really well, to be honest. You've got a mission planner thing on it, or something I really don't enjoy, but I'll just show it to you. There we go. Whoops. So it'll go wherever you've pointed it. So if you do that, it'll do loop rounds and everything. I've never ever found a use for it, but people keep saying that one day I will, and I hope I will one day. I just don't find it really sort of floats my boat, to be honest. And then of course, because we've got the camera facing right down, you'll be able to see my hairstyle. Yeah, it's pretty good range as well. Oh, it's still working okay. Mind you, we got sort of 80 meters, didn't we, on it? So if you want to inspect your gutters and everything, we've got 80 meters on the Wi-Fi, didn't we? That is pushing it, I would say, for this sort of Wi-Fi system. It's just up that. Yeah, very nice. I like the tilting camera. I think that's really nice. Yeah, and certainly, yeah, you can fly a little bit of FPV. Line up your shot is what it's geared for. We're quite a height there, actually. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. If it did go out of range, all it would do is just drop slowly out of the sky, and this one actually reconnects. So whether or not we'd have time to do that, I'm not entirely convinced. We're way over 100 foot there, so 30 odd meters easy. Oh, easy, I would say now. So I'm going to descend, and with altitude holds, you don't get a very fast descent, but that's not too bad. You might get a bit of, the video might be not quite so good with dropping the throttle right off. You tend to get something called prop wash, which can make the video not brilliant. That actually flies really nicely. Yeah, really nice. Landing, you can either bring it into land by pressing this button, or you can just take the throttle off like we did before. There we go, found a bit of grass that wasn't quite so bad there. I'm just going to put the camera angle up a bit. One little trick that I always do, I always carry a little lens cleaning cloth, mainly because I have glasses and they keep constantly getting dirty. But please don't wipe your lenses with your hanky or, you know, a bit of cloth or whatever, because once you've scratched them, you've ruined them. So just for the sake of carrying a little decent cloth with you, attach it to your, you know, flight bag or whatever. So let's turn that off, and what I'll do is, I wonder if we can prime the motors like we did before. No, it doesn't seem to let you do that. Oh yes it does, yeah, so that's good. So yeah, all the controls are exactly the same. Really nice. I'll just do a quick selfie again. Obviously this is going to be lower quality because that's it, just on the, we're just recording back to the phone, so the quality will probably be much lower. And let's just see whether we can flip okay. Yep, flipping's good. It's a flipping good quad, I think. Yeah, very good indeed. And flight time seems incredible on it. And what I'm going to do is I'll actually carry on the flight. I won't bother doing more reviews because I think I've virtually covered everything on it. I'll just put a note at the end in my summary of actually how long it flew for. But it is pretty good actually. Very good. Nice precise little flyer. I do like the actual camera on it. It isn't bad. You know, I think for the money and everything, it's a pretty good little quad. But there's a lot of these out there, so you could you've got a lot of choice. And look at this lovely precise control. And when you consider this is flying on a phone app, this is pretty good. Okay, so I had a really good play around with that. We got flashing LEDs just started, so I'll just run it out and see how long we get. But honestly, it's been an amazing length flight, really good. Which I suppose is the payoff for having such a long charge time. And what it will do is when the actual battery is really low, it will just come down and land gently. I might as well do the summary now. I'm totally impressed with it. It's really nice. For what it is a budget one. It is a folding one. It's, you know, it is what it is. You can have a look around. I'll put links in description for you, obviously. But I've actually had a blast with it. It's sporty enough if you're new for flying in high rates, and it's really quite nice in low rates as well. If you want to do a bit of filming, that's what I'm showing you now, is, you know, sort of some slow, precise stuff. It's really not that difficult. It is a nice little precise flyer. And it's brilliant either on the app or with the actual transmitter. Both of them work really well. And range has been superb on it. There we go. So I've done nothing there. It's just literally come in and landed. So all in all, I'm well impressed with that. It's a pretty good piece of kit. Well done, Visuo. I do hope you've enjoyed the review, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.